Hi, welcome to Riffs and Gigs. My name is Riley, and today I've got the wonderful, or 4 out of 5 of the wonderful proven rivals here today.
And Aaron.
And Aaron.
And Aaron is a bonus, Brucey bonus.
He can be an honorary member for today.
Yeah, he's honorary Bex. Yeah.
He's
like our 6th member, like the extra housemate in the young ones.
I'll have to chuck a few roadie-centric questions.
So how heavy? How heavy is the amp, mate?
There's going to be a spelling test.
What's the heaviest? Who's got the heaviest gear? You know, it's those sorts of things.
That one.
Yeah. Drummer.
I think.
Drummer.
Yeah. I think that's what we call it. Yeah.
Hits things, make noises. Simple.
Yeah. It doesn't normally just hit drums, though. Normally people. Sticks.
As long as there's a rhythm, there's a rhythm.
Oh yeah, it's always in B.
Yeah,
always in B. Yeah. So, obviously, we mentioned briefly that it is only 4 out of the 5 of you. The singer, unfortunately, couldn't make it. So, obviously, if there is anything that the singer might have a better answer for, just roll with it and answer it as if she would. Right.
Oh, no. He was a good Bex impression.
So, obviously, you've got your debut single, Wild Side Out. You're still relatively sort of new to the scene in that sense. How would you describe your sound? So who is or who are proven rivals?
That's a tough one.
I should have thought about this. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard. I'm going to say it's had many iterations, this band.
Yes.
So we started this many years ago. Probably too many. We started playing in like a bit of a function band. We were like a resident band in the casino. And as fun as it was at the time, we just didn't want to play covers anymore. So we tried to launch our own originals, kind of based on the stuff that what inspired us, really.
Plus, as a side note, there's only so many times you can play songs from the movie Hairspray.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You certainly can stop the beat.
You definitely can stop the beat.
So we kind of then, I mean, it took a while, I think, to get this current lineup. There was quite a bit of trial and error going through it. I don't know, what describes us best is probably we're just that kind of hard rock band. I know we've been labelled as a bit of a sleaze band before, but realistically, we are a hard rock, play what we feel kind of band.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. We don't have it's really hard to set a genre on it because we all come from different influences. Yeah, so we've all got something different to put into it, and we just kind of play what we like.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, so we've got some songs that are like probably metal, like Rains.
Rains
like that's a metal song, but then we've got stuff like Saints, which is a ballad.
When I write songs.
No. Oh no! Here we go.
There's always one that just here's a metal song. Ta-da!
Yeah. And obviously, Wild Side's like more again going back to that hard rock kind of stuff, isn't it?
Like Arena Anthem.
Yeah,
that's me.
Yeah, that's your every song Arena Anthem. Oh God!
It's probably got like 6 or 7.
There's a couple more than 4 chords. It's fine.
Yeah, and if not, I'll just put them in anyway.
They sound great.
Chucking some jazz notes for extra measure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
you want those? Fine.
Do you like jazz?
Do you like jazz?
You mentioned obviously you've all got kind of different inspirations, influences. What are, whether it's individual or you have got some in common, what are some of your main influences?
Oh, you want to go first?
No.
So I don't think we've got like probably collective. I think it is kind of we all bring our own stuff. Yeah. So I know for me, for like this band specifically, a lot of my influences like Bloody Hammers. There's a bit of Anthrax in there. Like Charlie's one of my favorite drummers, so I like a lot of his kind of things. Necromancers, like that kind of, I think more stoner rock, I would say.
Will you shut up?
I'm staying out of this one. Yeah. I don't know. I think it is literally a case of like we all listen to such wildly different things. It's kind of we just take elements of. Because I mean, I listen to a lot of like sort of trippy, Tool-esque stuff, and then ultra heavy stuff, and then you listen to your Misfits and your Ghost and that sort of thing.
I love Ghost.
Your Ghost.
I love Ghost.
Your Ghost.
So my main influence from like way back when I started even getting into music was like 80s hard rock, even like the glam and the sleaze genres. And then
we were both more into that because me and Nathan were both in a band back when we were.
We'll not mention the name.
No, we will not mention the name.
No.
Back when we were 19, we were very much influenced by Whitesnake, Def Leppard, Motley Crue.
I still am. I'm not going to
Roses, just so Morgan can drink.
Yeah.
Hence moving on to liking Ghost, because they basically tick off all of those things and then some.
Oh yeah. What if some Ghost when I get home?
That reaction was enough. Just Ghost.
Will you be seeing them on their tour in a couple of months?
No, I wish. Sadly, I'm a poor boy. So I'm hoping next year. I'm prepping for that. You know, but being in a band, Spotify, you know, you're not earning millions from Spotify, are you? Damn you.
Barely enough to buy a Freddo these days.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Not even close.
No.
Cost of Freddos these days as well.
Here we go. Every fucking time.
They were a pound in Tesco.
Get out.
Did you say, what did you say was a pound in Tesco's?
Freddo?
Yeah, give it a couple of years.
A pound in Tesco.
I see that we have two people on the same irate level about chocolate.
Yeah.
And I don't even. Yeah.
Why are you even talking about it?
It's just how much they cost.
It's what you compare everything to. You know, it's the price of Freddos. You know, it's the economy.
It is a good way to measure inflation. I'll give you that. It is. Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, back to actual music questions. So obviously, your debut single, Wild Side, one of you described it as kind of like arena rock. It's definitely got that sound. Really cool track. What's it about?
I had a really good biopic with this, and I do not remember. Essentially, the song is about breaking free from a toxic, well, that's like relationship, situationship, but in the happiest sounding way I could possibly write it.
Decent. As all good rock and metal songs are, really happy sounding music.
Don't want to feel too sorry.
It's a short breakup song, really. Isn't it?
Technically, yeah, actually, it was, yeah. Essentially, in its essence, it's a breakup song.
Yeah. Take that, Taylor Swift.
Buried under really upbeat sounding guitars and everything else.
It works.
Yeah.
So then what was the production process for that like then? Was it kind of done in studio? Did you do it DIY, or how did that kind of go?
So that one was done in studio, and I heard Dave say it was long, but we did it all in one day, which compared to when we did our demos originally, which took 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Doing it all in one day was a bit hectic.
Plus, we just gigged the night before.
Oh, yeah.
We'd left everything in the van to then get to the studio, unload everything at the studio to then track.
It was a great weekend for me. I really enjoyed
nobody
it.
had slept. People were hungover. It was a long day.
Had a great time.
I love the behind the scenes music video that we brought out for it though.
Yeah.
Everyone just looks fucking wrecked.
You can see the mountain of Greg's rappers in the background.
I was going to say the mountain of like energy drink cans piling up as well.
Coffee.
It was bad.
So yeah, we'll not be doing that again.
Oh.
Definitely not recording the day after a gig. That was just not fun.
Well, I had a great time. So.
You don't get hangovers.
So
yeah, I mean, it was good. So like, obviously, we did a demo beforehand. It was like a 4-track demo, which it is on our Spotify. We did it really DIY because we kind of all love that DIY vibe, and I just insisted that our first album was put out on a tape. So I really wanted to make a cassette. So the only way really I felt to do a tape was to do a DIY. So then going into the studio to do Wildside, it was just a totally different kettle of fish. It was less stress for one.
It was.
We didn't have to mix and master it.
Thank God.
It was done properly. It was just such a better process.
I mean, I'm guessing we'll touch more on this later on, but I'm guessing you would be more inclined to go down the studio route for any future releases as well, or still kind of find the best of both.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at like the background of this shot. This is the studio we did the DIY EP in. So as you can see, I mean, we've got half a roof at the back. Yeah, it's not the best of rooms, but we make do with it. So definitely studio next time.
100%.
Yes.
I feel like if you say you do something DIY and it is a proper pristine room, that's not true DIY.
Definitely
No.
not. Oh, yeah.
You know, true proper DIY is the slightly not quite perfect, slightly not there, but I think that makes it what it is.
Yeah.
We literally have a top slide at the back for water to go into a bin.
There was one day we were planning to track the drums. We all came in and the entire drum kit was flooded.
Yeah.
So we had to dry that off and try and quickly get fucking drums done in like an hour.
And did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got done. Yeah, somehow.
Oh, it's always successful. It's just hectic.
Varying degrees of success. It always gets there. You know, what state it's in. Depends. Yeah.
Hey, we talk about your sex life now.
Yeah. Oh, we talking about music? Oh, sorry.
Applies to anything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you mentioned I'm sidetracking again, but obviously you mentioned like the piles of Greg's mounting up. What sort of Greg's was keeping us alive in those sessions?
Oh,
Greg,
all of the rappers that are in this basement.
Why have we still got rappers, man?
I don't know. I think didn't you just go to a Greg's outlet and
Yeah.
whatever they had?
So we recorded at the Garage Studios, and obviously we had a great time there. But we all went out for like drinks and coffees and stuff like that whilst everybody was getting their bits done. And I was like, oh, there's a Greg's outlet nearby. So it's just the stuff they couldn't sell the day before, so for a lot cheaper. And I'm like, I'm just gonna get 2 big bags of whatever they've got and just bring it down.
Is that how they sell it in the outlet? Is it just in bags?
Yeah, so you get like what 5, 6 sausage rolls for like
a quid. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can get a box of like 8 donuts.
It's the
I
best.
was gonna say I drove past an outlet the other day and I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. So it's like,
Yeah, it's the staple diet of the northeastern man.
Oh yeah.
Pie. Pie.
I mean, I do feel.
Why'd you look at me when you said tasty?
I do feel British enough to live in a city that's got like 3 Gregs within like a 5-minute walk. So it's
we can beat that.
Yeah, numbers.
Put it this way: in South Shields, there's a Greg's. Then there's an amusements next door for like slot machines and that. And then next to that is another Greg's.
It is good.
There is one building separating 2 Greg's.
at that point just turn whatever's in between them and just have a third Greg's.
I think that's what they're doing. They're just trying to wreck the amusement so they can build like a mega Greg's.
Mega Greg's.
Yeah.
Megs.
Yeah, that'll be clipped. That'll be on all the socials.
Oh yeah.
So obviously, following on from Wild's side, you've got a slot competing in Metal to the Masses Newcastle, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Obviously, have you competed before, or what sort of your expectations going into this?
We did.
We competed last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, came very close.
Don't want to seem like overly cool, but we absolutely steamrolled it. Got to the final.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, it was also one other band. Neither of us won. I'm not naming names.
No one's naming names.
It's not Dr. I'm not saying it was rigged. I'm not saying that.
I think there's subtext to what you're saying, Dave. No? Okay.
I'm a very straight up.
If he said he's not saying it, he's not saying it. We can...
That's what he would say if he was saying it.
Yeah, I'm not even here.
It's like some really weird reverse psychology, and I'm not entirely sure if it's working.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot what we were talking about. Not me.
Greg's, we're talking about
Greg's. Starting at the weekend.
No way.
Best.
So easily sidetracked.
So yeah, going back to Metal to the Masters. Yeah, so we got to the finals last year.
Had a Greg's.
Which was crazy.
Yeah. I think the event itself is just mega. Like the way they do it is insane. Great for us for networking because we were quite fresh to the scene, really, weren't we?
We've literally been gigging, I think, about 5-6 months.
Yeah. So it was good to just build up some connections and stuff as well, but also kind of see what else is out there so we can get ideas for like bands we want to potentially chill with or gig with again. So it was good for us to do that.
I think obviously it is a competition at the heart of it, but I do think everyone is, well, mostly everyone there they're all in the same boat. They're all supporting each other. So I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head with it being a great source for networking and just building that up. So that's really cool. Yep. Who are some of the bands you're playing with for this one then? Do you know? Or
so I think, is it Chieftain?
We play,
I can't remember how, I don't know how you pronounce it, but they're in our heat.
We played with Forstellan.
We've got Forstellan in our heat.
Yeah, we've played with a couple of times.
Yeah. Those. And then a lot of our friends are in some of the other heats as well. So chances are we might end up against them at some point. We don't know.
Which would be fun.
How that goes.
But
again, I think all of them are bands we've played with before. So we've played with Culper, we've played with To Nowhere. We've played with Sorrow. They were in the finals for us last year.
They were.
Yeah. Who also live next door, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of recurring bands. There's also some new bands that I don't know. I've not heard of them.
Like in our heat, we've got Melodic Disaster and Broken Temples.
They're the ones.
They're the other two in our heat. So I haven't seen them play yet. So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's nice that you've got quite a few sort of bands that you're familiar with and you've played with before. So it keeps that sort of friendliness and the sort of connections going, which is really good. So then
we don't match with anyone.
Only in it for yourselves, typical musicians. Yeah. So beyond that, then, have you got any other shows lined up happening soon, or?
No, not really, not at the moment. We've at the end of last year, we kind of took a little step back and we've kind of reevaluated stuff behind the scenes, ready to come back out in 2025. We are now looking at booking some more gigs, but we're just trying to get out of the Northeast. I think that's been a thing for us.
Yeah.
All the gigs we've played have been Newcastle, Gateshead. I think the furthest we got was Darlington.
Yeah.
So it's now we're just going to try and branch out a little bit further, see where we can hit.
Yeah, we're now in talks with some sort of promotion companies who are already working on getting decent gigs. Already have to turn some down.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing. I think that's the important thing. Kind of, you've already established sort of like the Northeast side of thing, but breaking out of that would be really cool to see.
Yeah, 100%.
And then obviously following Wildside, have we got any more music in the works or?
Well, we've turned our focus on at the minute since we've been trying to sort things out behind the scenes to writ new material. So we've got a couple of things on the go at the minute. 2 or 3?
We'll have to wait and see.
Maybe 4, maybe 5.
Be mysterious.
Be mysterious.
So we are looking at we want to be able to make sure that we've got enough material so we can have almost a unique set almost every time we play. Obviously, it's a difficult thing to do depending on how many gigs we do each year. Yeah. But we like to have the flexibility, kind of like swap and change things and just kind of do different stuff. So that's what we're focused on at the moment.
Yeah, I think at this point we have a set list which is versatile. We can kind of mix it around depending on the gig, depending if we're entirely bored of the set.
True.
And we have an aim to hopefully bring out an album.
Nice. Shit.
With Wildside on it and a couple of the other ones that we've got as our demo EP. Then all the rest should be shiny and new and exciting.
And they should see us live, which you should do, and then you can come and listen to it live before they're out.
True.
Nice little plug there. So we did Wildside. We gigged Wildside loads before we got that recorded, didn't we? So people had already heard it before we then kind of polished it, recorded it, and released it.
To play it, I was meant to sound.
Yeah, play it at the speed it's meant to be.
You control the tempo, man. What do you mean?
I laugh at it.
Yeah, I think that's a common with a lot of bands. It's like you see them play songs for however long, and then however many months later, when they finally release, you're like, that doesn't sound anything like how I've heard it these times.
You all said that.
Our demo's very much like that as well.
Oh yeah.
So one of the like Love Me Like You Hate Me, for example, from the demo, I don't even play that way live anymore. No, it's totally different.
You've completely changed it.
So we'd have to redo that realistically to make it sound like the live version.
I mean, I always appreciate it when the live version is slightly different to the studio version anyway. So maybe you can just get away with it. Maybe you can just leave it as it is. No one will really care.
Yeah, it's
forever the demo.
Intentional.
It's to help invoke a different experience. Yes. That's to go, come to see us live.
So we can sell 2 albums.
Yeah. Have one just with the demos. And maybe you might get enough to buy Freddo. Who knows?
Depends.
Doubt it.
Oh,
I was going to say we'll stick with the Greg's, but that's more expensive, so
yeah.
it's not really helpful.
When Megs opens up, forget about it.
We don't get sponsored by Greg's. I'm quitting.
I'm pretty sure I also heard one of you say Megs to the masses as well when we were talking about to the masses. That needs to stick on.
The Masses has not been sponsored in Newcastle by Greg's. I have no idea.
That's ridiculous. Like,
Just chugging pasties into the crowd.
There is generally a pub crawl in Newcastle which incorporates going up one street, and there's 9 Greg's on it.
just tell to be Greg's.
Greg.
You can have a low for me like you hate me.
No, please.
That's real pain and anguish they're telling you to stop.
You think I'd be used to it by now?
Baptized.
Oh, yeah, instead of baptized.
Or even
Bap. Face it with open eyes. Bap.
Baptized.
Bap. I like that.
Only if you all rock up on stage wearing the Greg's t-shirts and maybe even the Greg's Crocs as well. You know.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Bucket hat, the full.
I'm talking Greg's cowboy boots.
I'm talking stale pasties all stitched together.
What, like 2 pints of lager?
Yeah.
Chicken bit covering my ball.
Oh, you could hollow out a pasty and just pop it in there.
Put my sausage roll on top. Hey.
No, they're small ones.
But where's my mini roll?
I hope this was exactly what you were expecting.
I'm just seriously questioning if a Greg's themed metal band actually exists because I feel like there is a market.
It does now.
I feel like there is a market. If any pop up after this, we will be asking for royalties. Clearly.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so just as a quick little final question before wrapping bits up, sort of could be anything you guys have got planned, could be anything you've got like gigs lined up or anything. What's some of the things you're most looking forward to this year?
Studio time for me.
Yeah.
Getting in the studio.
Getting out of the northeast.
Lots
of gigs, lots of connections with new bands.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting new fans.
New fans. We like fans.
Stop it, Kieran.
Nah.
You don't.
Feel like meeting people.
Yeah.
He just try to sit in the back in darkness.
I just want a pork pie and to be
so
left alone.
He wants a porker's pie.
No, I think definitely like hitting new cities.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one. Somehow surviving on the road with yous. That's going to be interesting.
It'll be fine.
You say that?
You once tried to get gear water and you lived, so
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, E. coli can't kill me, but you will.
Yeah.
Just see what the year brings for us. I think is the thing. It's a bit of an open book this year, isn't it?
Yeah, we want to expand. That's the main thing. When you get out there more, because we know the best way that we can show ourselves off is to actually go and play.
Yeah,
you know. Show yourself off in a way that's not going to get you arrested. Okay. But yeah, go get yourselves out there, perform. It's the number one way to promote yourself. You can do as much as you can online. You can try and push your music online as much as possible, but you know, people got to see you. They got to hear you.
Yeah, it's any way to make money now, anyway, isn't it? Is gigging, selling merch.
Yeah.
Like,
not that we make money, because we don't. We do it for the love.
No, but we need to pay for this,
Yeah.
gear, and getting us out there. Spotify's clearly not paying us.
Peanuts help. Don't give us peanuts.
Fuck Spotify. I quite like peanuts.
He's allergic.
I can't eat.
Yeah, you are.
Honey roast.
Right in his face.
We stop.
on his head.
Watch him swell.
Yeah. We did say we want to expand.
Yeah, literally, or
He's gonna hide one in one of his t-shirts at some point.
A peanut.
Oh, smart peanut.
just hide a singular peanut in the stitching and hope that
Oh
you'll
yeah,
never
I
find
saw
it.
that thing.
Watch him explode.
Yeah.
Peanut butter.
It's neck wax, I swear.
So don't give this band peanuts, please, unless you want to see them explode. Again, I'm sure there's a market for it. There's some strange people.
yeah.
There's some strange people online.
It has to be a thing.
We could do a charity event where people get to throw like Snickers at him or something. You know what I mean?
And we can collect them up.
And we can have the Snickers after, and he might
Because
might
that
not
way,
die.
that's the only way that we can eat.
That's what we'll do. If we go touring and we're on the road, we'll just set up like a little stand at the side. You know, pin a target on your back, let you run in a field. You know, free range.
I'm like free range basis.
Free range basis, yeah. And just have people stop peanuts at you.
Make the bassist explode.
Yeah.
How do you how do you take your bassist? Free range or?
We're trying not to get too much freedom. You know, we can't expose them too much to the outside world.
There's no pastiest man here.
Off a reflector. Sods.
I'm a mirror.
I'm a mirror. I like that.
See, you all look the same in camera, so you know it doesn't help.
Yeah. After you like bring down my saturation of it. You know what I mean?
You're lucky bastards that you all look as good as me. That's
Changing the camera settings or the TV settings.
I will say that you have a tendency to use like the ugliest pictures of me.
No, intentionally.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, and I know you do it on purpose.
It's because you leave me in charge of Instagram.
Yeah. It'll be someone, you know, like a photographer take a picture with a certain type of lens, and I'll just be on like the outside of that lens. So it looks like I've got like a really elongated peg. And he's like, yeah,
that one.
There's one that he did of you where it looked like, you know, where your hair pattern was. It stretched that part.
Oh, yeah.
So it looked like you were so bald. And I was like, oh my God.
I have no hair.
That was so brutal.
Was that a head of steam game?
I think it was, yeah.
See, one of the pictures of me that I actually really liked.
Yours looks great.
Oh yeah, all of mine look good. His in my guitar in the scratch plate there is his perfectly reflected face, and it makes it look like there's a tiny demon in my guitar.
I've never noticed that.
As soon as I come off this call, I'm going to be looking at for those photos.
Just go through the Instagram because it's just full. Because it's just full of really awful photos of all of us because we never put anything good on there.
Yeah. We try.
No, we don't.
No, we actually don't.
We really don't.
Other than like that one picture we recycle for all of our posters, we don't put good pictures.
No, that's another plan for this year. New promo shots.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully you all look like how you're supposed to look.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's all wigs.
Yeah.
None of this is real.
I'm wearing Davies right now. I left mine at home. Kira forgot his, hence why he's wearing a hat.
I did shave my head at the weekend. So.
It's just throw it in his face. Not helpful at all.
No, thank you so much for having this. Obviously, this quick little chat.
Anytime.
Side.
Hopefully, next one talks about something other than Greg's.
Yeah. We don't tend to take ourselves too seriously, whether on or off stage anyway. We always seem to have a good time.
That is the one thing.
That's how you've got to do things. So many bands take themselves seriously, and it's just like,
yeah.
Why?
Imagine if your next conversation with a band is a serious one. You're not going to know how to deal.
We're trying to break it so you guys have been to Greg's.
I'll be rocking back and forth thinking of the Mega Gregs. Mega Gregs. But no, thank you so much for coming on here, having a quick chat. Obviously, Wild Side, stream it now. If you're in the Newcastle area, absolutely feel free to hit these guys up for the Metal to the Masses show.
Yeah.
Maybe throw some Gregs at them. Who knows?
Yeah, we're all hungry.
No nuts though.
We've not eaten since December.
Yeah, being a musician is hard. These guys haven't eaten since December. You know, please buy their music, support them.
I've learned to photosynthesize. So,
I couldn't smell.
No.
You've just turned into a human cactus.
Yeah.
But
I knew that. I was going to say no. I've always been a bit of a prick. Never mind.
Beat you to it. But yeah, Proven Rivals. I've been Riley at Riffs and Gigs. Thank you for watching.